So I would like to welcome on stage Karolina, whose first speech, How to Fly Boredom. I'd like to start my speech with a question. How many of you actually get bored sometimes? Oh, quite a lot, thank you. Well, I get bored as well sometimes. And it's actually very annoying because sometimes you just want to get away from your own life. So how do we do that? What are techniques to fight boredom? Well, we can't all be stuntmen or women, we can't all be rock stars, so we can't all live lives full of adrenaline and exhilaration. We'd probably burn out if we did, because those are very special people, they can take a lot of pressure. So the first thing I want to discuss with you is travel as a form of fighting boredom. The second form of fighting boredom is meeting new people. And the third one I will be discussing is actually improving on what you already have without travel or anything new. So let's start with travel first. Let's put my hat on. Well, there's many benefits to travel. First one is that it lowers heart rate. So it decreases chances of heart failure and problems with the heart. It also stimulates cognitive flexibility because you have to problem solve. And the third way it's actually beneficial to you is that it fights depression because you change environment. The reasons I like travel is because you have to put your whole life in one suitcase and you have to fend for yourself, at least if you go away by yourself. So that's something I enjoy very much. It also offers you new smells, new sounds, new tastes, so you're stimulated by this. There's also downsides to travel. One of the downsides of travel is that at times you come across a language barrier. And I have an example of this. I already told you that I sometimes like to swim rather heavily. And at this point I was in the water for an hour and came out and couldn't find my clothes. I was on Tenerife and was quite a long way from where I was staying at. So I was shivering and where are my clothes? Problem. So two elderly gentlemen came up to me and they said, well, they didn't say anything that I could understand, but they pointed to my clothes which were behind the rocks. And they indicated that the waves were rolling in, so they had to move them away from the tide. I had a little chat about the sea being cold because they like to swim as well. And I used the wrong word, so I said, frigo, frigo. They said, no, frigo, frigo. So that's not a frigo. Frigo, you should use frio. So now I know that in Spanish, cold means free. So that's travel for you. You can also meet new people just here. And this is something that I haven't shared with you before. I used to be extremely shy, so what am I doing here in front of you? I was very shy, and the way I overcame this was by doing scary things every single day of my life. And one of these scary things was, of course, trying to talk to people. Nowadays, I actually talk to people in a professional way because I interview people for this magazine. So it's become part of who I am. And what I really like about talking to people is that they are a world in themselves. They are full of stories. Every person is an interesting person to know. So I would encourage anyone to have a talk with any person of any age. So how do we do this? How do we start a conversation with any given person? Well, there's a technique to do this. The way you can do this is first by offering something about yourself. For instance, I used to be shy. Then they open themselves up to you, and you can ask them questions of a personal nature about themselves. But don't turn it into an interrogation. So don't start firing off questions at them, because then they will go like, whoa, freakazoid, get away from me. So that's not what you want to do. The last one I mentioned of how to improve your life or fight boredom is by improving what you already have. And this one I'll split up in 3. So the first way to improve what you already have is by improving your home. So for instance, switching around furniture in your living room. I did this recently, and a friend of mine came around and said, hey, you have a new couch. I said, no, that couch was over there and this one was there. And these are new pictures I made myself. So it was like a new environment for that person, a change of perspective just by switching things around. A second way would be to actually have better conversations with people you already know, so with friends. Instead, where is he, Tom? Instead of using social media, you should meet people in person, and you should speak to them more in depth. Ask them what the problems are they are facing, what they are actually interested in at that point in their lives. So that's the second one. The last one would be to read books. Read books or go to the cinema, because these are things you sometimes don't take enough time to do, and they actually stimulate your fantasy. And if your fantasy is stimulated, then maybe you're more likely to write down some of your own ideas, or actually take pictures, or paint like I do. So those are 3 things you could do. These were my tips to you. And I think life's an adventure, so you have to grab hold of it before it gets away. It's like a slippery fish sometimes. And yeah, that was it. Thank you.